what I want to do is go through the plan on the stock. I'm sorry, plan on the entries for Plan A, aka the slingshot, aka the grappling gun. I don't know. We'll come up with something fun. But in general, this is basically mm, 90% the same as this, with some I don't know the right word for it, Joe, but making it more simple. I was
Yeah.
gonna say similarities. Is that a word?
Simplicity?
Additional simplicity. There we go. Like moneyness. I don't think moneyness is a word, but I sure say the mess out of it. Okay, so um, whenever we start with trading, of course, Joe, we always want to start with the market. We want to let the market tell us which direction it's going, right? This welcome to the Simple Schmo show, right? Simplifications. I like similarities better, but simplifications is definitely the right word. Thank you, Alan. Shut up, Nate. Modifications. You guys are funny. I love it.
So are you
Right.
suggesting that that if the market's trending down, I probably shouldn't buy long calls and hope it's gonna go up?
I mean, by all means, you do you, bro. You do you. But I can tell you from experience that trying to trade against the trend is very costly. Like somebody is looking at this chart today and they're saying, nah, not cool. It has to go down from here. There's no possible way it can go up. The best story I could ever tell, I forget I forget his name, but it was somebody I was following years and years ago. And it was when Tesla was like rocket shipping in 2020 and 2021. Like Tesla could not go down. And I remember seeing his tweet one day and he's like, that's it. You know what? Tesla, it has to go down from here. This is absolutely obnoxious. I'm going to start buying puts like crazy. I don't know what happened to him. Surely he didn't hold those puts. But like legitimately, you can't tell the market what to do. The market is telling you as clear as day when you use the outlier trend template with the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. It is telling you as obvious as possible which way it's trending. And if you decide to get in front of that steam train, you're going to get run over, right?
I kinda, liken it to, being at Disney World and standing in line for hours and hours, and then it's my turn to get on. If I don't get on, I'm not gonna ride the ride, right?
Mm.
But I'm not hoping to go backwards, I'm hoping to go forward with the ride. I just have to wait for it to show up.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so let's go to the plan. Charlotte has renamed it herself. Yes, the Outlier 16, so much simpler. Charlotte, there is a button on my side called the ban user and delete their comments button. Get ready for it. No, I'm just playing. All right, so we need to start with the market. We need to start with the trend. In fact, let's do this. We're gonna pull this up so you can see like it aligns, right? Let's not overthink this. The trend of the market, the 10 over 2050, the buy signal, and the fear and greed and the breadth, right? These kind of go together here, right? So trend, signal, breadth. Okay. Ban user and delete the comments button. So let's start with the trend. What is the trend doing? Well, Outlier makes it super duper easy. You can just click on the spy, and then you can see with about 1.1 seconds after it loads in that
That's
yeah, it's a bullish trend. In fact, over here in the corner, you're going to see the trend right there. That's why I laid it out in the same way. I was like, let's at least keep the layout the same. So we got the trend is bullish here on the market. That makes life simpler. We have a buy signal on the market. We can see that right here. And that's the second step right here, right? The next thing is looking at the SPY's fear and greed heat map. I would consider this a breadth measurement. You don't have to, but I will. And you can see the fear and greed is going down. And so breadth right there is definitely not working in our favor. But let's also check out the full stocks breadth. Now, my thought was let's look everything we need to see on the SPY all at once, right? Let's just keep it simple. We're on one page. Let's look at everything we need to see for that all in one spot. Oh, another random guy has shown up. Good to see you, Johnny. And the random guy. Full stocks breadth. Let's go take a look at that. So we've looked at the SPY, we've looked at the trend, we've looked at the signal, and we've looked at the fear and greed all on one page. Makes it super simple. And the best part about this, Joe, if one of these isn't working, you can stop right there. You don't have to do anything else. You can just sit in cash and head out, right? You can hang on. You can let me do this. You can sit in cash. Let me see if I can turn this on. There it. Oh, it's out of shot. Hang on. May have to swap it with the Batman logo. Hold on.
That is a nice addition to the Batcave right there.
I know, right? Nice addition to the Batcave, but that will give somebody epileptic seizures. So let's go with red. I'm good with red. Okay. So let me back that up. If you see one of these things that's not working, the plan would be to, geez, there we go, sit in cash and not F up, right? You don't have to do anything in the market. And thankfully now we have interest-bearing options where you can go, you can buy SGov, and you can literally do nothing, get paid every single day. Way better than trying to fight a trend, trying to fight the market, and then losing money. I don't know. You tell me.
Way, way better. Yeah,
Way
I hate
better.
losing money. Even if you're going to earn a little bit of interest on SGov, it's still better than losing it or sitting with zero interest.
Precisely. Precisely. And that's a big mindset change for a lot of people, right? If you, in fact, I have a slide for this. I think I have multiple slides for this. Let's go sliding down the slides over here. From my friend Mark. Oh, look at that. Literally his number one rule in trading. Wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. As long as it takes, Joe. Now,
That's
there are
right.
times where it feels really frustrating, like today, right? The market's pushing to a new all-time high. And you might be saying, well, this first off, this guy on the internet has no idea what he's talking about. Even though he's up 38% year to date, he's not up 1,000,000% year to date. So I'm not going to listen to anything that he has to say. I mean, that 38% year to date is pretty embarrassing if we're honest here. But on a day like today, I can totally get why somebody would be frustrated. Somebody would be annoyed that I'm not in this market, even though it's pushing to brand new highs, right? And one thing that I say, Joe, and you know this as well, new all-time highs is super bullish. New all-time highs is super bullish. Rule number one, sit in cash and don't F up. Yeah, that is absolutely rule number one, which is why we do it. So of these rules up here, this one is broken today. The SPY Fear and Greed heat map is under 70, but it's falling. Rather than under 70 and rising, it's under 70 and falling. And we have a quant on staff who's done the math and said, if you are buying anything at all, and the market's fear and greed is going down, expect to lose. Just plain and simple, expect to lose. Can you win? Of course. But does it make it that much harder when more and more people are getting fearful instead of getting greedy? Yeah, of course. Joe, what's the one word that I like to describe trading as?
Effortless.
Effortless. Yeah.
Mhm.
This
And
is
you
not
can
effortless trading.
you
Right?
can see in
Go ahead.
some of the Discord comments that it's not effortless right now. The market itself may be climbing, but you don't have sectors that are following it up. And if you're and we're going to find that, I'm sure, in our next steps of the plan. But it's like you just can't tell one day to the next if you're on a trend with your stock or if it's just going to bash you first thing at market open. It's just not effortless right at the moment.
Yeah. And I appreciate you sharing that Discord experience, right? Yeah, Alan's talking about it's super tough right now, right? Um, And Nico, great point. No one is preventing anybody to do whatever they want in the market. That's one of the core principles of trading in the zone is you can literally do anything on any day on any stock. Nobody's sitting there holding your hand saying, don't even do it. Some people understand that that freedom gives them unlimited opportunities to make unlimited money. Other people see this freedom gives them unlimited opportunities to F up their account to zero. And they do that. You have the choice. Follow your plan or F up your account to zero. I don't want to do that. I am not interested in that. So I would not be trading and am not trading because of this rule, at least to start with. Let's go look over at the full stocks breadth. So if we click the breadth button over here, Tyson has a great question. With the possibility of rates cutting next week, Joe, do you remember what that tool is called? The greatest should not be free tool available.
Pin something? No, I don't.
There we go. CME Fed Watch Tool. Google it, save it. CME Fed Watch Tool. Fed Watch Tool. Chicago Board of Mercantile Exchange. This will tell you the probabilities of a rate cut. Right now, it is a 100% probability of a rate cut because we're currently at 4.25, 450. The consensus, 92.9%, says by September 17th, aka next week, we'll be at 400 to 425 basis points. So a 25 basis point rate cut. There's still a chance of a 50 basis point rate cut, but there is a 0% chance that we're going to hold rates steady. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool,
And
right?
what have you seen in the past when this happens? What are we going to experience likely?
Well, that's a great question because everybody here in the chat can attest to this, right? The initial market reaction may be up, it may be down. And this is why I don't put any emphasis on fundamentals and things like that. Because the initial market reaction could be 2% up. I mean, it could be huge in 15 minutes, but by the end of the day, it's down. It could be down right away after the Fed announcement, and then it could trend up for the rest of the day. We really can't say what's going to happen. If we could, trust me, the arbitrage on that would be the easiest trade of all time. So in reality, nobody actually knows what's going to happen with the market. Not at all. But they do know that this will at least give us some volatility.
Mm-hmm. Is this why watching the news isn't part of the plan? Because you just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. What's the point?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't watch the news, period, full stop. If there's something worth knowing, it shows up on my YouTube feed. Like yesterday, I do not want to get into it, but of course that showed up in my YouTube feed. And I was like, all right, there we go. That's it. And is what it is, right? News is noise. News is noise. So the fear and greed heat map is under 70, but it's falling. So I'm not going to take anything, but let's go look at the full stocks breadth. Full stocks, meaning the 2,600 that we cover right now, soon to be more, by the way. Mahesh is loading in several hundred more very soon, is going down. More and more sell signals, less and less buy signals. You can watch the market, not the news. Exactly. So we're getting more and more sell signals, less and less buy signals. And I completely understand if you're sitting in cash and you're looking at this and you're like, how can we have more and more sell signals when the market's pushing up like this? Keep in mind, the market is getting more and more fearful, okay? And we have more and more sell signals. So I'm not calling for a crash. I'm not calling for a reversal, but I'm also looking at this and I'm saying, this is not a strong trend. It's really not a strong trend. And I mean, whatever metric you want to put on it, it is a big, beautiful uptrend that I'm not going to get in the way of, but also I'm not going to risk, right? I'm not going to risk it at this point. Some people would say maybe it's an overbought trend, but I do know one thing. It certainly is coming down in the data that we can see over here. So it's only a matter of time. I don't know when. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to go with it.
And we know data pays, so let's follow the data.
All day. It pays all day. All right. So sector fear and greeds. So we've established what's going on with the market. My plan would be sitting in cash, as Mark would say, sit in cash and don't F up your portfolio. We could move into the sectors if we were going to go through this. We can look at the sector fear and greed heat maps. Let's see. And this does align with the fear and greed heat map over here, right? Trying to keep the same pattern here. Okay. So I believe the big beautiful bookmarklet that Backtesting created still works. Let's see. This is a big beautiful bookmarklet. Let's click it in. By the way, I asked Mahesh to make our breadth page look more like this because it's really easy. I really appreciate that. So hopefully at some point we can have it looking a little bit more like this. But since there are so many sell signals right now. What'd you say, Joe?
VacLab is amazing. I don't even know how he accomplished this. Just incredible.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Some sort of witchcraft. It is spooky season. Some sort of witchcraft. Joe, you need to do a spooky season background.
You're right. I should do that. I'm gonna have to have Mahesh do some decorating in the conference room.
At the OVTLYR headquarters. I know. Joe's holding it down while everybody else works from home.
Representing.
Joe, taking a look at this, right? We've got 2-3 sectors where their fear and greed heat maps are moving up. which actually you can see. Oh no, you can't see that part over there. You've got one sector that has bullish breadth. That would be the energy sector. You can see that. And then the donkey channel scores are all 0 or less, 0 on the market. Bro, this is, I know we're pushing new all-time highs, but the data that I'm looking at right now is all these sell signals. Exactly. It is not a clean, easy, effortless market. Right? So we want to be sitting in cash, right? So the first thing, sector fear and greed heat maps. Under 70 and rising. So we can see all of these are under 70. Man, this book market is good. I need to send this to Mahesh again. Say, don't forget about this. By the way, new merch, thanks to Shane the Plumber's suggestion. Hoodies with slingshots on the front, loaded up with money, and maybe an outlier logo on the back. It's a great idea. I already sent it to my editor. Hang on. Let me take another screenshot of this and send it to Mahesh and say, please put this in 4.1. I know for sure we have several mini upgrades. 4.0 is a major upgrade. We have several mini upgrades coming really soon. Yeah, any chance we can get the breadth upgrades in the next update? Because this is so easy. You can look at on here and see everything you'd want to know for all the sectors. You can see the sector fear and greed heat maps, the sector relative greeds, relative greed. There we go. So relative greed, meaning which one of these has a greater value than the SPY's greed, right? The SPY's greed is 68 going down, but do any of these have a higher relative greed than the SPY?
I'm glad you showed this because in previous examples, I was thinking I had to switch back in and forth between windows, but you can see it right here, just like it's showing the heat map on the left versus SPY on the right.
Yeah. It's so simple, and I really appreciate that. So there's nothing with the relative greed over 1. All of these are under 70. Does it say if they're rising or falling? Oh yeah, it does. Moving up or moving down. Man, this just makes things easier. Sector breadth. Sector breadth. Let's look at the communication sector. So we can see the fear and greed heat map moving down, right, at 6109. Very cool. And the breadth at 25.6, and it's a bearish cross. So 25.6% of the communication sector, which Netflix and Meta are both in, by the way, if you didn't know that, are actually still moving down, and it's a bearish cross on the 10 EMA. So, bro, I can't see anything that I want to trade. Does anything have bullish breadth? Energy sector. That's it. That's it. Now, AS1 and AS2. Let's discuss that again. I did rename these. I'm going to say it a few more times. I'm not going to say it again. I did rename these to make it easier. AS1 is a score of 1 on the market and 1 on the sector. Easy. 1 and 1, right? AS2 is 2 on the market, anything on the sector. That's why it's 2. Okay. So AS1 or AS2, right? The score today is 0. So you're not going to get either AS1 or AS2. AS1, active scenario 1. AS2, active scenario 2. There you go. So yeah, Joe, I'm continuing to stack all the reasons why I wouldn't trade anything.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to Swerve, that sounds like a really fun app, like a survey generating app. Swerve. That's a really sick app name. I love it. Buck Masters is here. Everybody say, hey, Buck. I'll make sure I say, hey, Buck. Buck Masters made it. Let's go back to Swerve. Wants to look at CRWV. So let's jump into CRWV. CRWV. Go. Page not found. Maybe I did it wrong. We do not cover CRWV. I'll look at the chart, but the chart's only going to tell you so much. That's the whole point of Outlier, right? So you got your 10 under the 20, prices over the 50. This is a sideways trend technically right now. And I mean, I don't have any data to go along with it. I don't even know what sector this is in. But overall, I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything. But look at that. That's what a big, beautiful uptrend looks like. Oh, it's a IPO. That's why. We won't have any data on this for years, Joe. We need like 5 years of data to come up with it. But in the meantime, we can look at Hood, at the Robin Hood, or maybe even Tesla. Let's go to Hood first. Let's go to hood first. Hey, there's Vaclav. There's Vaclav. What's up, dude? All right, so first off, when we look over here at the Outlier 9, I'm not trading this.
Mhm.
It's so easy, Joe. It's so easy now. But it does have a buy signal. The fear and greed in the market, I'm sorry, fear and greed on the sector is going down. It does not have new uptrends, more new uptrends. It does not have less new downtrends, but it does have a bullish trend on the stock, a buy signal, bullish fear and greed on the stock, and no outlier blocks in the way. So hood is a 6 of 9. And, you know, for somebody that could be perfect for them, right? Maybe Corey's over here screaming hood, 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 hood. I don't know, but certainly not one that I would trade for these reasons, right? Let's go look at OLN for Vaclav.
Yeah, somebody might find that in their trading plan they're going to do outlier 8 or outlier 7 or whatever is
Right.
comfortable for them.
True. And we're still working on a plan B, and we're still working on a plan M for money. That'll be on the swing signals. But plan B, Scott, I'm letting Scott have some creativity here. I've not given him any constraints. I'm like, find me a plan B. Come up with something. I'm open to it, right? And hopefully he can even beat the plan A expectancy. That'd be super cool. Super cool. You know, one thing, Joe, that in the data that we're finding is that these trades are going to last a lot longer. Like
Oh,
normally my trades last 5-ish days. A lot
yeah.
of these trades are going to be around 11 days, so more than 2 calendar weeks.
And this is because we're going to be rolling, right?
It's more, and this is a good example in OLN, it's more the fact that we're going to be less tight on our exits. And trust me, that hurts me to the core. But we need to position size differently because of that. So on OLN, the buy signal came on August 18th. That was here, right? Let's measure this. By the way, the order blocks on, I think that one ended right there, actually. We want to see them 120 calendar days, not 120 bars. And it's cool, and TradingView tells you both. So this one's 45 days, so you wouldn't even need to worry about that. So here's a good example, right? If I had traded this, I would have gotten out, and I tell you for 100% certainty, I would have gotten out on my old plan here because it closed below the prior day's low.
Sure.
Literally the next day, rocket ships. Now, that hurts me to admit that my old trading plan would have absolutely got me out right before this giant move up. In fact, how much is this big move up so far since the buy signal? Here to here, 26%, Joe. That's a huge move. That's a giant, tremendous, amazing move. Look at
I
that.
want, I want to ride that train at Disney World.
Yeah, no joke. So, anyways, huge move. And this is one example as to why I would actually be holding longer than I would otherwise, right? So in fact, let's go look at my exit signals at this point. First, an outlier sell signal. Nope, no outlier sell signal. I close under the 10 EMA. Nope, no closes under a 10 EMA yet. Any outlier blocks are at least 120 calendar days. Nope. Any earnings? Nope. And no gap and craps, which we have quantified at least 5%. Nope. I would still be holding this
Yeah, it's beautiful.
and making so much more dollars. So
Mhm.
many more dollars. Masters of the universe type money. This is brilliant, right?
Well,
And
on top of that, you're showing multiple roles here, which means you're going to be in free trade territory. You're going to have no risk on this at one point. It's going to be amazing.
dude, and I'm glad you brought that up, Joe. Let's measure that out, right? Let's say that we entered opening, I think it was 8th or 18th, 18th. Let's say that we got in right there, okay? And let's do this. Let's do the replay. Man, I love this replay
Yeah,
button. That is
let's
so
do it.
sick. All right. So let's say that we do the replay. The ATR is 1. So we should be able to quickly, easily see just by measuring $1 up at a time. Okay, so we'll do from 21.25, 22.25, 23.25. Now it's not perfect. Give me a break. Okay, it's fine. It's close enough. 24.25 and 25.25. So 22, 23. I missed 24. How did I miss 24? 24, 25. And let's just do 26, 25. Rolled MU today for the second time in 2 days, and he's up 104%. See, you're doing it right. You are a ninja, Doug. Doug the ninja. Everybody type Doug the ninja in the chat. Doug, D-O-U-G, D-O-U-G, the ninja. Excellent work, Jug. Excellent work, Doug, not Jug. Excellent work, Doug. Man, I don't know why I'm struggling with that. Anyways, and I have a point to this. I'm having a point to this. Ready? So every day that goes by, this is where we enter. Okay. So we've entered right here. Moving up, moving sideways, moving down. But we didn't get out. The order block is not over 120 days old. That's fine. Big move up. Let's go.
Yep.
First roll. First roll.
I can already hear the chatter on Discord. Boys, look what we're doing.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Oh, I would have rolled it probably on this date, and we're good. Now we're at 2 rolls. Continue, please. Go. Let's go. Here we go. Food stamps. No, Lambos. Oh my gosh. We could have rolled here and here. Bro, we're up 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls. Guaranteed at this point, you've got a risk-free trade.
Mm-hmm.
Going somewhere with this. Hold tight. Here we go. Still going. Oh, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls at this point. Is that up to date? That's up to date. Bro, you could have rolled this 5 times. Now, this is why I want to make this point. This is why I want to make this point for Doug the Ninja. Ninja Doug. You guys make this so much more fun. We've rolled it 5 times. I guarantee you have taken in enough credit through these rolls to have paid off the original trade. If the original trade, let's say it was $2, because this is a $20 stock. Let's say it was a $2 option. You've collected more than $2 in credit as you've rolled it. We get up to this point. Joe, what happens if it crashes?
Well, you're not out your money because you already took it off the table.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And actually, you've already taken that money and put it into another trade.
Wait just one cotton pick a minute here, Joe.
Yeah.
You're telling me that if I had this trade and I rolled it multiple times and then it crashed back down, I would still be profitable?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Huh. There's definitely a chance.
Yeah. It's like the power of options, right? The power of Grayskull, the power of options.
And this is why we let our winners run out of control and cut those losers early.
Exactly. To Corey's point, right? The ninja hack is great to reduce risk. It was a risk-free move. Totally changed the game. And in this point, oh wait, our senior Wahoo, my doorbell came and just alerted me to a package was delivered, and it's this 80 Delta mug. Time for more coffee. Outstanding. That's so fun, Doug. Or not Doug, Art. That's so fun, Art. So taking a look at this, right? I would have been holding this the entire time if I had taken that in my trading plan, and that's okay. Oh, thank you, Joe, for popping that up there.
You're welcome.
I would have been trading this the entire way and not have gotten stopped out right here. Mm-hmm. You want to see one that we did trade that the new plan would have made me, I was doing the math on it this morning and I was not a very happy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see one?
Let's see it. Yep.
How about NVIDIA? I was the one guy ever to lose money on NVIDIA.
Nah, there's 2 of us.
June 27th was the trade that I took on the OVTLYR. It must have been the 28th. I had written down as the 27th in my journal. But the new 4.0 signals, in fact, let's go to that real quick, would have had me in on June 30th, right here. Okay. Now, would I have gotten out right there? Potentially, but there's also a chance I would have held it as well. In fact, let's just double check that I got that date right. July 24th, June 30th. Yeah, potentially. right? Because depending on the time of day, if this was below, I might have got out. If it wasn't, according to Scott's back test that he did, in fact, I'll show this one. Hold tight, I'll show this one.
I don't know if I would have had the stomach to hold it.
And that's part of the reason that we are position sizing now based on the distance to the 10 EMA and or the position to the 10 EMA or the half ATR, whichever gives you a better reason. So here's Scott's back test. Entry on 6:30, closing on 7:22. Okay. So in theory, had I held this, and it's very possible that I could have, holding it from here to 7:22. Wait, 7:22. Oh, I'm off a month. Hang on. June 30th. That was the problem. Okay, hang on. I'm off a month. There's your problem here, Chris. July 30th. That's why my date didn't line up. July 30th. There. Right? Am I right this time? No, I'm still off.
No, you're off.
I did it again. You would think this guy, professional YouTuber, would know what he's talking about. Such a joker. All right, here we go. That's why I would have
Okay.
Okay, there we go. This
I
makes way
can
more
see
sense.
it. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I took this trade. I'm going to circle in green the trade that I took. Joe may have also taken that trade.
Mhm.
I got out on this candle because why, Joe?
Close below prior day's low.
I closed below the prior day's low. What happened after that point, Joe?
It took off.
It most certainly did. Now with our new rules, where would I have gotten out?
Oh boy, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep right there.
Right there.
So about a month, 3 weeks through a month. Yeah.
22 days.
Mm-hmm.
22 days. And let's see the difference here. This is why I am very excited about my new plan. I went from this candle to this candle. I lost 2.88% on the stock in this case. Trust me, it was a lot more than that in my account. The OVTLYR 4.0 would have had us go from here to here, a 5.78. So whatever you lost to the downside, triple that to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, isn't that great?
It is great. I hope they all play out like that.
I hope so too, right? Trav says, I love the new plan. I can't wait. So let's do the remove this. Let's do the replay feature here. Does the new spreadsheet position size based on 10 EMA? It takes the one that's going to give you more risk, which is either the half ATR or the 10 EMA. Why do I care about that? Because if I'm following to the 10 EMA, I want to trade even smaller because that's more risk. Right? So it would be a different position size, I'll tell you that. So let's say, right? So this is the 3.0 signal I took. That's the 4.0 signal. So it did come on Monday rather than on Friday. Okay. This was my previous trading strategy exit. Super sucks. But of course, we can't see the future. It traded underneath the low of the prior day. What happened after that?
Yeah, it looks like some support was built there too. You can see
True.
the blue box.
Yeah. But it just went up and up and up without me, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
That son of a gun went without me. And that right there would have been my new exit signal. So 22 days with a big old winner versus a couple days with a moderate loser. So I'm very happy about these changes. I think this is going to be great. And of course, you know, we're going to be in trades longer and hopefully they lead. Joe, here's the deal, right? You want to be in trade for a long time. If you're in a trade for a long time, that means you're making money, right? If the trade doesn't work out, you want to get out as fast as possible. But if it's working, hold on to it. Seems like the new, hang on, sorry, I didn't see it. Seems like the new OVTLYR system transfers money from the impatient to the patient. What are you trying to call me? How dare you, Justin? Justin, I thought we were cool, bro. The real Bane, definitely not the Hammer Donkey, which is such a funny name. Nancy Pelosi money right there. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Now
Johnny. Oh, go ahead.
we'll still have an exit stating if you're less than a week out from expiration and you haven't moved, you probably should just call it, right?
Yes, yes. Um, in this case, we may have had to roll out in time because this did take 22 days. And
Mhm.
generally I like to go in the 21 day to expiration point. But I may have had it longer than that. Point is, that's fine. That's part of the plan. You just roll out and up, right? That way you're still taking in credit. Wonder how many times we would have got to roll this one. Let's say it's a $4 ATR. Joe, remember when I told you earlier that I didn't want to be here all day? And then
It's
of
too much
course,
fun, man. I'm enjoying it. I bet if we asked folks if they wanted to leave, we'd get a lot of no's.
I gotta tell you, Joe, you make this way more fun having someone else to talk to. All right,
Well,
so we do
thanks.
that. Let's go up another $4 here.
See, Nathan, there's your first example. Oops.
See,
Oh, there's too many comments. I can't keep up.
this is true though. This is true though. When you love what you do, it's not work, right?
That's right.
This really is the thing for me. This is why God put me on earth is not just to trade for myself, but to help you trade. I have no doubt about that. I figured that out a long time ago. And so like trading, backtesting, all the data parts, I can do this for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and I don't get tired of it. I love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it.
it's a lot of
For some
fun.
people, it's very boring and tedious and just give me the answers. For me, I love discovering it. I love going through it. I love running all the different scenarios and the data and getting all that together. That's so fun to me.
So,
All right.
so for
So
our newer subscribers, what you're doing is you're placing in these blue lines, and each of those blue lines represents not necessarily a profit target, but a roll target. So
we're
once you hit
rolling
the
first.
blue line with the stock price, you're going to go to your options chain, and you're going to say, how can I find a new contract that I can buy for a credit? And that credit is referring back to our commentary earlier about pulling on a risk-free trade. Every time you hit these blue lines, you're taking money off the table, letting it run. So every blue line, you're pulling your cash out. You're going to put that cash into something else to
That's
make you
right.
some money.
Look at that. It sounds like you graduated from the only university in the entire world that has a full money back guarantee.
Yeah, that's right.
Well said, Joe. Thank you for that.
You're
But check
welcome.
this out, man. So, it came down a little bit, but eventually came back up. Got to roll it once, twice, three times. By this point, you're probably in a risk free trade. A fourth time, which absolutely locks in profits no matter what. If it went and crashed all the way back to where you started, you still are up money. And it came down a little bit, and that's fine. And you got out. So you actually, because of the way the deltas work, you actually made more money by rolling it all the way up than you would have had you only had the one and came up to here and then watched it come back down. So we're going to get really, really nerdy real quick, Joe. You ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. So let's say we started at the 80 delta. Okay. By the time that we got to the first, rolling is outlier voodoo. By the time we got to the first roll, our original 80 was probably closer to 90 now. So it's now 90. So we're going to roll it back to a new 80 delta. Okay. We're going to roll it back to a new 80 delta. Let's do this. 90-80. Now, this original one is going to continue to rise, and it's going to go from 90 to 91 to 92. The gamma is going to slow down here. Oh, we're going to get so nerdy. The gamma is going to slow down as it goes up. Okay. But because we just went back to the 80 delta, we get to repeat this again. So we get to copy this and put it here. Okay. So it's not let me drag it. There we go. So this 80 delta is that one. Just went up to 90. And then we get to roll it once again. Now, this original one was going from 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. We're repeating this process by going back to the 80 delta, back to the 80 delta, back to the 80 delta. So in the process, we're actually making more money.
Mm-hmm.
because our gamma is rising faster than it would be if we were stuck with this original one. Now it gets even more better. You ready, Joe? It gets even more better because once we get up here and we've done our final roll down to the 80 delta, and then it contracts, this one, let's say it's at 99 at this point, is going to work against us more than this one at 80.
Okay.
19 deltas. So this entire time we're making more money because we still have the gamma risk that's rolling up further and faster for us. And then once we get up here and it turns around, we lose less money. Bro,
Interesting.
It's the best.
Yeah, I haven't seen the gamma reverse, but I've not looked because yeah, anytime I'm rolling, I'm just looking at my exits and seeing what my reason is as opposed to watching for gamma. So that's interesting.
Yeah, because you're so gamma is the rate of change of delta. Delta is how much your option price goes up in value for every $1 change in underlying stock. By the way, I can guarantee you none of these other finfluencers on YouTube could explain what we're talking about here with this much confidence because they don't do it. They play traders on the internet. I'm actually a real trader. Thank you very much. So if this were to happen to you, your gamma risk, the amount of change for every $1 delta move, is going to decrease, right? Because it can only go up to 100, right? So if we've gone from our option from 80 to 90, it can go up to 80 to 90 a lot faster than it can go from 90 to 100. Okay, it maxes out at 100. It's called an asymptotic curve. Let's look at what an asymptotic curve looks like. Oh, I love this so much, Joe. An asymptotic curve, right? Imagine this is 0 and this is 100. It will go up and then it will flatten out because it can never go over 100, right? The asymptote is that guy right there.
Okay.
So we're basically playing it up and back down, up and back down, up and back down, rather than getting locked up here where nothing's really changing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you could tell, but I love this stuff. As I mentioned earlier, I can do this all day and all night and not even be slowed down. But
what's great for all of us outliers is you've already made the mistakes and you've learned from them and you're kind of paving the road that we don't have to follow.
That's if people listen. But listen, man, like I had Market Wizard mentors and I still made the mistakes that they told me not to do just so to beat it into my head. Hey, maybe I shouldn't do that. So I get it if somebody still wants to go and make those mistakes. I get that.
I, for one, am not going to go make those mistakes if I can help it.
That's a brilliant move, Joe. You know what else would be a brilliant move? If somebody was interested in, I don't know, saving time, making money, and starting winning with less risk, what do you think they should do?
Well, we may have to tell them what outlier is before I can answer that question.
You mean, damn it, Joe. You can't throw me a layup after I've already closed my PowerPoint. I've already turned off my screen share. But I'll tell you one thing. It does help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk using the OVTLYR 9, which is like the easiest thing ever. It just blows up right on your screen so you can see. And it costs like, I forget how much. Joe, do you remember how much it costs?
Yeah, I think it's 82 cents a day.
82 cents a day? Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow. Imagine. And how much was this university that random guy on the internet was charging to teach everything that he knew?
Oh, I invested nothing but my time into it and didn't have to process a refund at all.
No dollars?
No dollars at all. No.
Wait, you're telling me that a guy that's twice been awarded top 100 people in finance, a guy that was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, and a guy who's made like 3,000 YouTube videos, and a guy with a decently nice watch, didn't charge you anything to learn everything that he's ever learned and done in trading?
Not only did he not charge me anything, he also didn't charge my fellow students anything, and he put them on YouTube so all the world can see those training videos.
Wow. Sounds like a pretty cool guy.
Pretty cool guy.
And you get access to his software for like less than $1 a day, more around 82 cents. Really? It can't be. I know. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
If they can't commit to this point and they're like, I don't believe any words that this guy says, I need to see more of these videos. Now what would they need to do?
Well, you know, they could struggle. They could go find some YouTube commenters who kind of would lead them down a path of what's the market doing, what's the sector doing, what should I get into. They could get into dollar cost averaging and they could just lose, right? Because that's what we do when we're learning.
Yep.
Or they could
Or
click one of these two videos
one of those two.
right here.
Sick. That sounds like a great idea. And we will definitely talk soon.